The rain had been falling since morning, turning the graveyard into a mirror of grey sky and broken light. Daniel Mercer stood at the marble headstone with his hat pressed against his chest, his shoulders trembling with the kind of grief that does not ask permission before it arrives. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments where in the world are you watching from. He had driven 3 hours to reach this cemetery, and he would drive 3 hours back alone. The way he did everything now, alone. The headstone read Elena Mercer, beloved mother, and below her name, a date that had stolen the color from Daniel's world 5 years ago. He knelt in the wet grass, not caring about his clothes, not caring about anything except the words he needed to say out loud. He told her about their daughter, Sophie, who had just turned 7 and had started losing her baby teeth, and asked questions about heaven that Daniel could never fully answer. He told her about the little apartment they lived in now, how Sophie had decorated her wall with drawings of butterflies, because someone told her butterflies were souls visiting from the other side. He told her he was sorry he could not give Sophie more. Then he cried, quietly, privately, the way a man cries when he believes no one is watching. Hidden behind an old oak tree 20 feet away, a woman in a dark coat stood completely still with her hand pressed over her mouth and tears streaming silently down her face. Her name was also Eleanor, and she was very much alive. 5 years earlier, Daniel had been the chief operations officer of a mid-sized logistics company, a position he had built from the ground floor through 12 years of discipline and honest work. He was not a flashy man. He drove a sensible car, packed his own lunch, and coached Sophie's soccer team on weekends. His reputation inside the industry was simple. Daniel Mercer always delivered, and Daniel Mercer never lied. That reputation meant nothing the morning Victor Hale arrived. Victor Hale was the kind of billionaire who collected struggling companies, the way other men collected watches, and when he acquired Daniel's firm through a hostile takeover, he made it immediately clear that he preferred loyalty over competence. Daniel was asked to sign off on financial reports he knew were falsified. He refused. Within a week, he was terminated. Within a month, Victor had made quiet calls to every major employer in the region, painting Daniel as a man with a temper and poor judgment. No one called him back. No one offered him an interview. He was erased from the professional world with the ease of a man who had never existed at all. And the bills kept coming, and Sophie kept growing. And Daniel took whatever work he could find, night shifts at a warehouse, weekend deliveries, odd jobs that paid cash. He never once told Sophie they were struggling. He told her they were on an adventure. Elena had not died. She had disappeared. After years of a marriage that had grown quietly painful for reasons neither of them could fully explain, she had agreed to a separation. But Victor Hale, a man she had briefly and regrettably dated before meeting, Daniel had used his resources to fabricate her death, a cruel manipulation designed to sever any connection Daniel might use to rebuild his life. He had threatened her family. He had threatened her. She had been living under a new identity in a small coastal town, working as a nurse, calling her daughter on birthdays through a borrowed phone, praying that someday she would find a way back. The moment she discovered what Victor had truly done to Daniel, not just to her, but to the honest man who had never deserved any of it, something fierce and determined woke up inside her. She had come to the cemetery to leave flowers at a grave she never asked to have. She had not expected to find him there. She had not expected to feel the ground shift beneath her feet when she saw him, kneeling in the rain, talking to her name carved in stone, crying without shame over a love he had never stopped honoring. She stepped forward. She said his name. Daniel turned, and the color left his face. And then slowly it came rushing back. The rain kept falling. Sophie would get her mother back. Victor Hale would face consequences that no amount of money could buy his way out of. And Daniel Mercer, the man who had refused to let bitterness turn him cruel, would finally understand that the universe keeps careful records of quiet dignity. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories, where every story reminds you that goodness always finds its way home.